PSLE 2022, Paper 2, Question 10. To tackle PSLE word problems or any word problems in Paper 2, it is very good to read and annotate at the same time to pick up keywords, hints. These keywords and hints help us to identify the heuristics and the concepts. Now, to do so, we are not supposed to read the entire word problems at one shot, at one go. We just need to read line by line, sentence by sentence, and annotate at the same time. Once we have identified the correct concepts, heuristic, we can solve. Remember, we cannot end there. We have to evaluate by using a different method, a different heuristic, a different concept to solve the same problem. If both solutions are giving us the same answer, we are good. If the two answers are different, then we have to repeat the cycle. That is, reread, re-annotate, re-identify, and choose the most appropriate, the most suitable heuristic concept. This is the question that we are doing today. It is a speed question. So let's read and annotate at the same time. When Jane started jogging from her home, Linda was 1.2 km ahead. So the important thing is that Jane started jogging and Linda was ahead. All right, so I'm going to present this using a speed distance line. Right? So Jane started jogging from her home. So let's say Jane's home is here. Right? So her home is the little dot here, and Jane started jogging. When she started jogging, Linda was already here. This L, Linda. So it is actually 1.2 km apart. Right? So there's a start. Now, Jane jogged 10 km per hour and Linda walked 4 km per hour. So we are given the two ladies' individual speed. So I'm going to write down speed belonging to Jane is 10 km per hour and the speed belonging to Linda 4 km per hour. Now, I believe all of you have learned the use of the speed triangle. Now, the speed triangle is very useful. So it is a very famous triangle that many of you should know how to use. Okay, now the next information that we know that the two ladies, Jane and Linda, they went in the same direction and did not change speed. So they are moving from the left to the right. If you refer to the line that I have drawn. First question, how far did Jane jog in 45 minutes? Now 45 minutes, we have to convert the 45 minutes into hours because the speed values given by the question is all in km per hour. So the 45 minutes is not suitable. So we have to change the 45 minutes to 3/4 hours. Okay, I believe you know how to change, right? Okay, let me show you how to change. Now we all know that 1 hour is 60 minutes, right? Okay, so 45 out of 60, right? We want it to be in hour. So if you simplify this using your calculator, it should be 3/4. So 45 minutes should be the same as 3/4 hours. So we have to use this. We can't use 45 minutes because of this part here. Okay, all right. Now we want to find out about how far Jane jogged in 3/4 hours, right? Okay, so how far means distance. Okay, how far means distance. So distance formula, distance is speed times time. and speed, Jane's speed 10 km per hour, and the time is 3/4. The duration is 3/4. So 3/4 times 10 will give us 7.5. So actually we have already answered part A. 7.5 km is the distance covered by Jane. This Jane jogged 7.5 km in 45 minutes. Jane jogged 7.5 km in 3/4 hours. A is completed. Let's move on to B. So let me write down here. Jane covered 7.5 km in this. Now, let's plug in what we have, what we saw in our previous slide. Speed of Jane, 10 kilometers per hour. Speed of Linda, 4 km per hour. Right? Okay, now B. Who was ahead after 3/4 hours? Who? That means they want to find out, is it Jane or is it Linda? And they want to find out how far apart, find the difference. How far apart means to find the difference between them. That means difference in their distances covered, whether is it jogged or walked. Okay, so we have already found Jane's distance. Jane's distance is 7.5 km per hour, right? So in 3/4 hours, Jane jogged 7.5 km. How about Linda? Let's do the same thing. Distance covered by Linda also in 3/4 hours. So using the speed triangle, distance is equals to speed times time. Speed times time. This one, our calculator will tell us 3 km. It's a very easy question. You don't even have to use a calculator. Okay? Right. So remember, Linda was already ahead of Jane. Okay? So if I bring back the line again, let's say in 3/4 hours, Jane had covered 7.5 km. Jane is now here, for example. Okay. Now, Linda was here at first, the first 1.2 km. Remember, Linda started first, right? Linda started walking first, so she was at 1.2 km position from Jane's home. Okay, and then both are going this direction. Let's remove this arrow. Okay, now then in 3/4 hours, in 45 minutes, Linda covered another 3 km. So I believe it's until here. So actually Linda covered 4.2 km after 45 minutes. So I'm going to write down here. After 45 minutes, that means after 3/4 hour, right? Jane covered 7.5 km, right? That is our part A. Then Linda covered 4.2 because you have to include her original 1.2. So from here, from this summary here, we should be able to answer part B. Who was ahead? Jane, definitely. How far ahead? Very simple. Take these two, find the difference. So 7.5 minus 4.2 gives us 3.3. Okay, so So part B, who was ahead after 45 minutes and how far apart were the two girls, the two ladies? So Jane was ahead because Jane covered 7.5 km and then Linda only covered 4.2 km. And what is the difference between how far apart? You just take 7.5 km minus 4.2 km, you get 3.3 km. So part B is done. Question 10 is completed. To know when my question 9 will be shared, uploaded in my channel, YouTube channel, what we need to do is to subscribe. When you have subscribed to my channel, you will know that all the questions that I am discussing on PSLE will be uploaded. What do you think of my today's sharing on the speed question? You like it? Kindly give me a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up. Like the video and drop me some comments, okay, for future videos or motivation improvement, and share with anyone who is taking PSLE or wants to know how to tackle speed question. Okay, all right. Thank you for viewing my question 10, PSLE 2022 paper 2. Thank you for your support. This is Joseph signing off. Goodbye.